welcome to Stitches and Sundries. This is a floss tube about cross stitch and stitchy goodness. Thank you all so much for joining me. I've seen a bunch of more new subscribers. I guess once you hit a certain threshold, people start seeing you. Maybe that's happening, I don't know. So if you're new here, thank you so much for coming by. And if you're stuck with me from the beginning when it was a mess, thank you so much for sticking around. I'm Lauren. You can find me on Instagram at LaurenUpStitching. This is episode 41, I want to say. And I'm recording it on June 29th. And Dusty is huffing and puffing around here. So you might see or hear her or me yelling at her as she is bad. Where was I? Doing floss tubes, recording things. This is a Stitchy podcast. It's going to be lots of fun. What did I just say? Dusty. Ma'am. I know your pillows are gone. The pillows being gone, I think I mentioned it in a previous episode. We used to keep all our patio furniture pillows over there. And now they're out on the patio where they should be. And she used to sleep in there on all the pillows. And since they're gone, every time she sees that they're gone, she's upset. So she's very grumpy. Very grumpy old lady. So, don't you dare, ma'am. You are being so bad. Come here. She won't. She's so grumpy. She might settle down here when she realizes that I'm not gonna be happy with her. Update to her. Last time we talked, she had an infection and we had to take her to the vet. She had her follow-up. She's fine. Everything is fine. I freaked out for really nothing. She was on an antibiotic for a week, which she was really good about taking, and that has just cleared everything up. She did lose some weight, which was really nice. The vet that did the follow-up appointment was different than the first vet is very intense. She was like, this could be bladder cancer. And I'm like, fuck, no, don't tell me that shit. And, but the second vet was like, nah, she's fine. Like, her weight's fine. Everything's fine. She's a wonderful cat. She's very sweet. I'm like, okay. Two very different philosophies on pet care, I guess. So now that I'm done talking about you, ma'am. So today I have some cross-stitchy updates. I've been stitching like a crazy person. But more than that, I'm going to put this kind of up front so that people stick around a little bit. We're going to be having a mini giveaway today, and I'll tell you more about why, and what's in it and how to enter and everything a little later. But I have just our community is awesome and amazing, and I have awesome and amazing friends in this community. And so we are going to continue being kind, paying forward the kindness. And yeah, so we'll be having a giveaway later in the video. So stick around. I have also a ton of haul. So I actually remembered to do haul this time. I don't know why this doesn't stick with me to do haul. But I have it and I'll show you guys. So that's the plan for the video. Not a ton of life updates either, other than her making me crazy. My dad missed Father's Day. He was out of town. He was out of town going to a timeshare meeting so he could get some steak knives or something like that. Man is insane. He forgot it was Father's Day entirely. And he was like, but I can get this gift. And so last weekend, so a week later, the next Friday, we took him to West Virginia has a minor league or draft league team called the Black Bears. And we went to a game, and it was so fun. It was so fun. We like baseball, like generally as a family. We grew up going to baseball games and stuff like that, so we like baseball. If you don't like baseball, I still feel like you can totally go and just soak in the atmosphere and do the chants and eat the hot dogs and the Cracker Jacks and everything, and it is just a primo experience. But if you are just like generally like those kind of experiences and you have a local draft league team, go support them. It's so fun. It's so fun. Because there's no stakes. There's nothing anybody's trying to get anywhere. It's just games, and you get to see people that you're like, that guy's going to get pulled. Like, that, and that's really fun. Like, there was a first baseman and he was also a really good hitter, that I totally feel gets pulled regularly. Because the draft league teams are not only, you know, where players go to get experience and stay ready, it's also where, like, if a player on your, like, the Black Bears is a draft team for the Pittsburgh Pirates. If a player on the Pittsburgh Pirates, like, let's say their wife has a baby and they need to be out for 3 games, they'll pull from their draft league to fill that spot for the time. As you could tell, kind of who gets pulled regularly. There were some really excellent players. So it was a lot of fun. It was just great. We just sat. It cooled down like immediately. The game started at 7. The sun went down at 8. It cooled down. We're eating soft pretzels, and like it was great. It was just, and it was a good time spent with my dad, which is what he always wants, is like time. Other than that, though, not a lot going on. I've been stitching like crazy. But I also don't have a ton to show you because I've been stitching like crazy on one specific project. So let's get into some cross stitch. Let's do it. Let's talk about stitchy goodness. So I have a finish, a whip, and a new start, which I'll go, and I'm pleased with all of them. And that's all I have. That's all the updates I have. Which I feel like for me is a little less, I at least usually have 4 or 5 things going on. But then I have haul and giveaway. So that's gonna be the bulk of the video today. So let me start with my finish. My glorious finish. Finished this last night. Bum, 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 bum. Ta-da! It's done. It's done. This is Cryptid's. This was a Cryptid stitch along by the Witchy Stitcher, and it is complete. I've been working on this for not quite a year. I started it on August 1st. So my goal was to get it done before August 1st. And then my goal became to get it done by June, and it's the 29th, and it's done. So that is a finish. And look how cute they are. Look at Sasquatch. Look at him, he's so cute. I love the little worm's teeth. Those teeth were a bitch to put in. Yeah, I'm so pleased. I'm so happy to have this finished. A year's a little long for a project, which I know people that do Hades are like, okay, these last 5 years. Ugh. I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I'm gonna start one. It's not a hay, but it is a large full coverage piece. That's going to be my next. That's going to fill this slot in my rotation. So that's great. It's good stuff. So anyway, this is complete. I did this on 28 count Wichelt linen in the color Twilight Mist, and I love this color. Like I know a lot of people did primitive colors or like more natural colors, but look at that burgundy kind of color in some of the, like, it's so good, and the browns and the whites really pop. Like, so happy with this color, so happy with this finish in general. So my current plan for fully finishing this is I am going to get a stretched canvas, and I'm going to paint it black, and then I'm going to stretch this over the stretched canvas and have it be like artwork, which everything is artwork, so I don't know why that's the thing that's sticking in my head. But yeah, I'm gonna put, and that way it'll have like that 3D element, and then I have no idea what I'm gonna do to fully finish that when it's done, other than maybe a really modern, like black frame, like something very thin and modern that'll just really just complement this. I was trying to look for things on Google of like, once you have a framed, like once you have your canvas art, what are some creative ways to finish that, like besides just framing it? Google was completely unhelpful. I was like shocked at how unhelpful it was. The first whole page was ads and shopping links. I'm like, I don't want to buy a frame. That's not what I'm asking. I wanted like finishing ideas and, you know, blog posts and articles and like maybe Pinterest boards. None of that. So I'm on the hunt. I'm going to look at Pinterest and see what people are doing out there. And yeah, but I'm so pleased with this. My sister is so pleased with this. I know exactly where it's going to hang. I am super happy with this one. So yeah, so that is my finish. This is what I spent all my time doing. I've been doing the road trip to a finish on the Halloween Cross Stitch Challenge Facebook group, which I'll link below. And so it was like they'd set you a stitch goal for each week, and at the end of the week, if you'd completed, you didn't really have to complete it, but if you started and finished the week with them, you'd be entered to win a prize. So it's just a little like motivator, and it really just made me put the pedal to the metal. I usually do. I now have statistics on all my pieces because I'm a nut job. I usually put in like between 500 and 1,000 stitches on this per month, just because it comes up in my rotation and I work on it for an evening or two and then it goes, you know, went away. It didn't really go away this month, and I put over 2,000 stitches in it in this month. And I got it done, so that's awesome. So I'm super happy. I'm super happy to have that. It just opens up room for way more stuff, so I really like that. So that is my finish. Super excited. Let me keep saying that. Super excited. So next up, I have a whip that I showed last time, but let me pull up my little paper here. This is July Larkspur by Maurer-Stroh. It's a free pattern on her website. That's why I don't really mind showing you. It doesn't really have a good picture. I can insert a picture there, kind of. Yeah, sure. But it's very obviously like a very beautiful flower. And I am almost done. I'm hoping to have a finish today on this one as well. How you doing, baby cat? And so here is where I am. So last time I barely had, I don't think I had the butterfly at all. And it was very splotchy in through here. I think I might have had part of the border done, but not all of it. But it has really come a long way. I really only have, I don't know, less than 100 stitches in this flower here, kind of near the top here. This one's completely done. And this is the first of these patterns that has back stitching. You see there on the butterfly, the back stitching, if it will focus. There's back stitching, it's not focusing for some reason. And I feel like the flowers could really stand to have that. Like this blue one looks so like fuzzy, like unclear, like where the flowers end. So it could have stood some more back stitching, but I'm not going to mess with it. I am doing, so I've got just that little bit there, and then I have to put my July down here at the bottom. And I chose, what is this? This is Weeks Dye Works Union Blue. Union Blue for that. That'll be my title. Be really pretty. And I just finish the border off down here around the title. And I use the Corners and Curls font by ScreamingHeartDesign for all my month titles, and I love it. It will definitely be used in other places as well. So yeah, really happy with that. It's coming along, like I said. I think I can have it finished today if I'm off today, so I record or edit the podcast. And so I think I can get it done. Super happy. And then once that's done, I have to look if I have the fabric for August, because I know what fabric I want August on, and so I have to look if I have it. Last update, or last thing, is a new start. This is, find the piece. So this is Tea Time by, it is a Riolis kit. It says Tea Time down here at the bottom. And it is super cute. And I got it started, I think Monday of this week. No, Monday of last week. Right after I recorded last week because I was excited. And I had opened the kit on the podcast. And once it's open, you got to do something with it. So I've gotten a little start on this. Let me pull this stuff out here. I gotta more so I can get it in frame. There we go. All right, so I got a little start. This is just the wall kind of background here and the shadows. You can kind of see right here, this is going to be a teacup. Kind of like right there, you can kind of see the rounding edge of a teacup there. And this is super fun. This is super fun to stitch on. I'm stitching this on the 14 count, I think they call it jute Aida, that it came with. And I'm stitching it with the kit, everything in the kit to not mess with it any. This is my first Riolis kit, and I knew that they used kind of different threads. So they used their own wool threads. Ooh, that blew out for a second, didn't it? They use their own wool threads, which are super soft and like fun to work with. They're really nice. But I hate this. I hate the way they're packaged. I like floss drops. I don't like pulling off and cutting for every single, I don't want to do that. I want it on a drop. So I have been, just as I need the colors, making floss drops for them. Look how fuzzy, look how soft and fluffy this is compared to like DMC. Like, so pretty. The colors are also gorgeous. And some of them there's multiple. So when I run out on a drop, I'll get the other one off the card. I just have these on here with my little, this is my little, let me see if I can get it to focus. It was focusing for a little bit, and now it's like, we don't want it anymore. It's a ship and anchor, little floss keeper. This is a pain in the butt to do though. Like, I take an 18-inch, I think it's a quilter's ruler, the square acrylic kind, but anything around that size will do. And I wrap it as I pull it off the bobbin that they put it on. And then when it's done, I just cut one end, and that's a good size of floss length. But that is a pain in the ass. But for me, it feels better to do it up front than to do it constantly throughout the project. I don't know. That's probably for everybody's, preference, but yeah, I love it. I think it's super fun. The stitch itself is super fun because it is not straightforward cross stitch. It is different lengths, and sometimes you're doing full crosses, and sometimes you're doing 10 stitch, and sometimes you're doing, there's some French knots, and there's some back stitching, and it's all to make varying levels of texture. So sometimes you're using like 4 strands and you get these really fat stitches, and sometimes you're using 1, so it like sinks, so it's like got this raised quality to it. I like it. It's very fun. It's the one thing that sucks is I cannot get it in Pattern Keeper to save my life. Actually, I might have just gotten it into Pattern. No, I didn't. I can't get it into Pattern Keeper to save my life. I tried multiple different ways. So then I just made myself working copies so I can highlight and cross off. So that is working, but it's not my favorite. I like Pattern Keeper. I like having everything and being able to scroll and not having to flip through different pages, because this thing's like 6 pages big. The pattern is like 6 pages big. So, but yeah, that's coming along. That is going into my rotation. So, I'm pleased with it. I'm really happy with it. So, that's all my updates. But let me talk to you a little bit about the awesome community we live in. We craft in. So that teapot, if you saw last episode, was my consolation prize, because I really wanted these very specific teapots that I had seen on Etsy, and now I couldn't find anymore. And I was, and I put in the cross-stitch, the Halloween cross-stitch Facebook group, hey, because I thought people would be, because the teapots that I wanted were themed on the pagan, the 8 major pagan holidays. And I thought, if anybody kind of like has something like that, it'll be witchy, spooky themed people. I was like, if you see this out in the world, or if you know how to get it, let me know. Like, I'm looking for it, you know, seeking this pattern, blah, blah. Well, then, the amazing Anna Stitches Autumn, who is the moderator, the creator of the whole group, contacted me out of the blue and said, what if I had those patterns? What if I just like found an email and tracked her down and talked to another designer and found a way to get those patterns for you. Would you like maybe want them? This incredibly generous lady. So I'm like, yes, how much do I owe you? You know, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And she's like, nothing, gift, here, Stitchy kindness. Like, I'm such a wonderful person. Here, have them. So I have them now. So I'm going to show them to you because I love them. So these are definitely coming up on my rotation again. So I'm just going to go through them. There's 8 of them, and she gave me all 8, and she's wonderful. So this is the holiday that just passed. This is Litha and it was celebrated on June 21st. And I've got these printed because putting them in is hard for me to talk about them and show them to you. So this is one that like sparked me looking for them. Look at that teapot. That is so gorgeous. So this will be the next upcoming holiday. This is, I think it's pronounced Lunasa. And it's in August, and that is just so beautiful. Look at that pink to green fade. I love how all the teapots are different types of teapots. This is Mabon, which is right near my birthday. This is the one that kind of reflects the harvest, and it's just beautiful. The Great Samhain, which is actually late this year. It's in November instead of October. And all of these have all the kind of like plants and symbols of the teapot and everything are very symbolic to what the holiday is about and how you celebrate it, and the things you would, you know, the things you would be finding and doing during that time. So as I stitch them, I'll do a little research and talk a little bit more about each of these. Of course, Yule. Look how beautiful that is. This is actually the one I'm going to be starting. I believe I'm going to start it in July. That way I have time to get it done. I don't want to be on trying to keep up with anything. I'm also not going to be like I am with Flowers of the Month, where I need each one done. No, I'm not doing that. I'm tired of having deadlines for a little while. So I love that one. That one is specifically beautiful. This one is maybe my favorite. This one is Imbolc. Trying to get the paper to stay outright. There we go. And look at those candles. Oh, it's just so beautiful. The frost at the top. This is in February. Ostara, or might be Ostara. I was going to say Ostra. Obviously very, this one is in March of 2023, and it's obviously very spring and Easter, that kind of like fertility time of the year. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And the last one I have, and this is another one that was like, oh God, this is totally one I want. This is Beltane. And this is April and May. And it's just like the dawn of, you know, summer and spring and things springing to life for the year. I love them all so much. I am so grateful to have wonderful friends who find these things for me and do these things for me. So yeah, super excited to get those started. I will be starting on Yule next month. I gotta go kit everything up. Since it is the 29th, next month is very quickly coming. These were all on Etsy by a designer called Ann M. Cross Stitch. I mentioned her last time. And, but she is currently not selling anywhere. She had to get a friend of hers to put these in her shop so that Anna, who's just so wonderful, could send them on. So then, after that wonderfulness, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, wonderful friends, gotta do something to repay this wonderful kindness. Steph from Total Stitch Show messages me on Instagram, is like, hey, can I have your email? Why? Why would you possibly? Oh, I'm just sending you something I mentioned. I mentioned on one of her videos on, I think not her latest Flosstube, because I'm a little behind, like the previous one. I love that. It's going on my list. Well, here, have it. She bought it for me. This is Bare Knuckle Betty by Heaven and Earth Designs. My first Haid. The first Haid that I own. I just love her. Look at those tattoos. Look at those. Look at that. Bare knuckle, or not bare knuckles, brass knuckles. Like, just look at her. I love that. I love that. I love the pinup style. I love the, like, punk rock, everything about it. Just in love with it. So this is a mini. She got me the mini because she asked. And I was like, be gentle. It's my first time. She's so good. So she got me the mini. This is artwork by Alchemy Gothic, which is just beautiful. Love it. And so now I'm like, okay, the karma is building up. What are you gonna do to, you know, keep this the good vibes rolling? So I was like, obviously, I need to do a giveaway. And I thought about it and thought about what kind of things I would want to do. And I thought, well, I could pass on, you know, some of the patterns I have in stash. I have, you know, I could do something. I thought, nope, you know what? It is the end of Pride Month. It is about to be the end of Pride Month. And it is been a crazy, psychotic couple of weeks here in the US. I don't know if the rest of you are feeling the crazy psychosis, but I was like, let's do a Pride-themed giveaway as well as a donation. So I will be giving away stuff that is Pride-themed, and I tried to pick designers and that were either part of the LGBTQ community or who were also donating. Like, part of the proceeds of buying this went to like the Trevor Project. And I will also be placing a donation in the name of the person that wins. So let me show you what I've got. So this is my Stitchy Kindness giveaway. Just letting the universe know. All right, let me see here. All right, so I have two patterns, some fabric. I feel like I'm missing something. Hang on. There it is. Two patterns, some fabric, and some other fun stuff. So, all right. So first, the patterns are going to be PDFs, so I will email them to you. And I also love them so much, I bought them a second time so that I could have them as well. So hopefully you love them as much as I do. So the first pattern is by Happy Sloth Cross Stitch Patterns, and it is Infinite Diversity in Infinite Combinations. And I love this because it is both a wonderful sentiment, but it is also, it is a Vulcan philosophy from Star Trek, so it's a little nerdy too. And it basically is the idea that the more we interact with people from different backgrounds, cultures, you know, experiences, the more we grow and learn as a people. And the world is full of infinite diversity and infinite combinations, and that's what makes it wonderful and special and fascinating and, you know, great to behold. How wonderful is that? How much does that just, that lines up with me perfectly? I hope it is a message that we can all take to heart, because, yeah, absolutely. So I want somebody to have that wonderful message. The second one is because this whole thing started with some teapots. It's some teacups. These are Pride flag teacups. So it's all the different teacups, all the different flags. And this is by Lemon Ada on Etsy. And they are just so cute. You could stitch them individually or as a set, depending on, you know, what your goals are. And they're just so beautiful. So there's some black work, there's some, it's just very pretty. And I thought it kind of fit the tea and pride like perfectly. So these two patterns are going to be in there. as well as, and I thought, well, you do need a little bit of spook. So this is Spell of the Moon. And this is one that I actually finished last year, and I've had it, and I've been meaning to put it on like a destashing group. And when I looked at all this, and I was like, this is so beautiful, I thought, well, it just needs a little spook. So I am passing this on. It is in perfect condition. I never marked it up or anything. And it's just Spell of the Moon by Blackbird Designs. So I love it. So that one is being passed along as well. As well as, this is Vintage, I think she called it Vintage Rainbow by Oblong Meow. How amazing is that? Oh my gosh. I just love this. Obviously I wouldn't stitch something as rainbow themed as the patterns I'm giving away, but like, oh my God. That just, oh, do a dead head to something on that. It just feels amazing. But yeah, so this is 14 count Aida, and it is hand dyed, and it is gorgeous. Like, it is picking up the colors pretty real to life because these colors are bright. And it is 11.5 by 11.5. Not super big, but big enough to do a couple projects on, I feel like, depending on what you want to do. I was like amazed by this, and she does awesome things. So I will be including her card and wrapping all this up, as well as she sent a little sticker. And I mean, you know how much I love stickers. So this is, I hope it's a gay frog. I feel like frogs are now gay icons. I think it's Alex Jones. So all of this will be coming your way via both email and post. And I am not going to worry about, because I don't do giveaways that often. I've never really had reason to. I think we did one when we hit 50 subscribers. I am willing to ship anywhere. So I'm not going to worry about where you're from or like continental United States or anything like that. So to enter, comment below, and let's do pay it forward. So comment below with the phrase pay it forward, and then tell me either your favorite like tea that you love. It can just be Lipton Black. I love that shit too. Or if you were getting the teacups, what pride flag would you want to stitch? And tell me about that. So any of those will be, I'll pick an entry probably right before I record the next episode, and then I will announce. So it'll probably whenever I record, I'll tell you it's closed when you see the next episode go up, right? Right. So enter with pay it forward, and either your favorite flavor of tea or what pride flag you would want to stitch, pride flag teacup you'd want to stitch, and you'll be entered, and I will get in contact with you, and we'll get these things out to you. So I hope this is just a little stitchy kindness coming of bright colors and wonderful sentiments, and I hope it really brightens your day, because the friends in this community have brightened mine repeatedly. So wonderful. So the last thing I have then is haul. I know that kind of looked like haul, but those were gifts. I had to go out and buy more stuff. Last week here in the US, we got some pretty daggone terrible news. And with the overturning of Roe v. Wade and the continual, I believe it was on Friday, right? Since Friday, feels like it has just gotten worse and worse. So that's great. It's wonderful. Fantastic. But when the ruling was announced, Night Spirit Studio did a fundraiser where 100% of the proceeds from her patterns went to, I believe, Planned Parenthood or other family planning charities. And I thought that was wonderful, but also I had like 50 Night Spirit Studio patterns saved. I was like, here we go. Like, this is the perfect, if nothing else, I was already donating and freaking getting 17 text messages about it. So I decided to just go on and I bought 10 patterns. So I have 10 patterns to share with you. And I love that, so I printed these off because it's easier for me to talk about what I love about them when I can see them too, instead of just inserting a picture. But I love you can see the evolution of her storefront and how she presented her stuff, which I think is fantastic. So I have 10 patterns here. All right. So the first one I got was Giant Silk Moth. I can tell this is one of her early ones because it doesn't have anything, and this is the picture it comes with. So there's not charted or anything. This is the picture it comes with, but there's no like headers, no nothing on it. So Giant Silk Moth, it is beautiful. I love moths and insects, and so I have a wall in our hallway here that's got like anatomical drawings and a couple other things on it, and so I'm just going to include all these buggy patterns on that. The next one I got was Cluttered Coffin. I love this one. I think it's so cute. I just love all the little doodads and bits and bobs. So I love this one. I'm going to try and do this on some kind of like smoky fabric so that it really feels, or maybe something that looks like brick, so it feels like it's propped up against something. Anyway, Cluttered Coffin, super cute. The next one I got is one that, I think this is the one that actually introduced me to Night Spirit Studio, and this is Morning Tree. I love that. That just needs to go up in my bedroom. I love that so much. So the next one, and like I said, you can see the evolution here. This one is Witchcraft Supply. Put that in a little closer. So very similar to Cluttered Coffin, except I love there's a little stitched hoop down there in the bottom corner. And I just love, I'm a clutter person. I like my shelves to be full of stuff. So to fill my shelves with pictures of stuff, of filled shelves, that seems good. That seems good to me. So love this one. Super happy about that. The next one is a blackwork pattern. This is The Blood is the Life. It's a Dracula pattern. Pull that in there. See if you can see that. The blackwork is a little hard to pick up with that bright red. It's very pretty though. It's very pretty. I have done a little bit of blackwork, but not like a crazy amount, so I'm looking forward to that one. The next one is Greetings from Beyond. Saw someone finish this on Insta not too long ago and was like in love. I already have my, you can kind of see it here in the corner. This is my Tiny Modernist Halloween Ouija. I feel like this right next to it, I feel like they have very similar, like slightly more cartoony or illustrated, not cartoony, illustrated vibes. Love that. Those two can go right next to each other. Next one is Ornate Pomegranate. Sorry for all the rustling as I move my papers around, but this is just easier for me. So Ornate Pomegranate, obviously based on the Hades and Persephone myth. My sister studied Greek mythology. She's a English and literature major, and so she studied a bunch of the old mythologies and like the original stories and everything like that. So I'm going to do that one for her. I think she'd love it. This one is Gothic Rebirth of the Luna Moth. Oh, I love that one. I love it. I love the little chrysalises hanging there in the corner. Like, beautiful. And again, loving the rebirth and the cycle of life of moths and everything. Really like that. And this one is Reliquary. More moths. I love the kind of Gothic architecture. The Reliquary is like such a weird phenomenon. So I really like that. So if anybody, I feel like that would be a really good one, like talking piece. Like, and the last one I got is Flowers from the Vampire's Boudoir. I believe, so you can totally tell the evolution. Like this one's now blood speckled. Like it's so cool. And that was just beautiful. Look at those reds. I believe this was a pattern she first released as to announce her new Patreon, and I will definitely be rebooting my Patreon. I had Patreon for a little while, and then we don't really use it anymore. But I will be rebooting it to support several designers, because I think that's such a great way to, you know, directly contribute to artists. So I am super happy with all of these. They're going in my collection. Similar to Witchy Stitcher, I'll just slowly work my way through their entire catalog. Like, it's fine. It's good stuff. They're beautiful, so why wouldn't I want them? I feel like my house is slowly getting to where I feel represented in it. Does that make sense? Like, we inherited this house. My sister and I inherited this house from our mom when she passed away in 2016. So it has, in October, it will be 6 years. And I feel like just now, we're really getting to the point where it's our house. Does that make sense? Like, that's a hard thing to do. Sarah gets a little maudlin about it sometimes, but so yeah, I am super happy with all of that. I am frustrated that that's the thing that I'm not frustrated that that's the thing that kicked me off to buying all of them, of course, but I'm frustrated that all this stuff is going on in the United States, and it's just, I'm looking to get my passports renewed, and like, I don't even know. But I am also heartened because there are such wonderful people in this community, and we have such good, positive spaces, and I hope everybody has a wonderful 2 weeks. Please enter the giveaway below. I would love to send you some fun things. So enter the giveaway below. That's all I'm not gonna do a question or anything this time. I think there's enough in that to fill a comment. So comment on that. I will be back in 2 weeks with hopefully a couple new starts and things going on to show you and share with you. And if you have any questions or anything, just pop it in a comment, or pop me on Instagram. That's probably the easiest. I'm pretty responsive. I try and be really responsive. So yeah, just message me and I'll clear it up. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful 2 weeks. Stay safe, stay sane. Bye.